Happy Monday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell, coming to you live on Memorex, default location, default route. Today isn't quite a thank God it's Monday, but it's probably as close to it as you can get without being a thank God it's Monday. If you would have asked me, what did I want to accomplish over the weekend? And today, I'll go back to grade it and put a word on it or whatever. Oh my God. Put it this way, Mr. Scale told me 207 something this morning. Last Monday it was 203, 204. I didn't get my steps in yesterday, but that's okay. But I definitely overate, which is okay because I kind of gave myself that. I hadn't had sweets in a while. I had a box of Mike and Ike's, a box of Dots, a row of Fig Newtons, hamburger, pot stickers. I ate and indulged and watched alien movies and just chilled in the apartment. Didn't do too much else. Not too much productive. Just, and as I look back over it, and it's getting old. That's starting to get old. That whole, deep dive weekend or whatever you call it, where I just kind of zone out and veg out, that's getting kind of old. Because even last night, as I woke up from my nap yesterday, I wasn't even into, I think I just barely hit the black and mild at all. I just sat there. I didn't even, it wasn't that kind of, I just wasn't in the mood for it. So I just didn't even indulge as I usually would. Even after eating. Just didn't have the urge to do it. So maybe I turned the corner there, I doubt it. But I don't know, things may be evolving. I'm guessing, I'm just talking on a Monday. I got nothing else to say. Am I looking forward to the work week? You kind of could say that. You kind of could say I'm looking forward to see how I'm gonna handle it and what, it's gonna bring, and definitely interested and curious to see how, if I get through another week, and anything that may come behind or because of my working and my attitude. And just, it's life has always been interesting to me to see what could go down or what may go down and all that. Because you never know. You never know. Just got to be prepared for it. And aware of what's in front of you and handle it the best you can. Not anticipate it, but sort of anticipate. Be prepared for opportunity and or calamity or chaos or something unexpected. Just be prepared. And that's kind of what I'm looking forward to this Monday, today, this week. See what it's gonna be about. Because it's always something. It's always gonna be something. There's no doubt about that. It's always gonna be something. And that could be neither here nor they. They nor here, whatever, however you wanna call it. But it's always gonna be something. So that's about where I'm at now. I ain't got much to say. I don't want to say I don't really care about too much, but not too much else is on my mind. Just doing Jeffery. Going through life and pretty content just to, go through this. I wonder if I'm content. I wonder if content could be the word. Because I'm probably very not happy in the position I am at work. I'm probably very not happy doing my job. But I think that even that's changing. I think even that is changing up a little bit. But for the most part, it's not hellacious. When I think about doing this for another 7 years, that makes it tough. When you talk about doing this for another 7 years, my God. And that's to get the delayed Social Security, not the full, the delayed. There's a difference. I think full retirement is 67. Delayed, you get that extra money. And they literally say, most people die between 67 and 70. They literally say that. They put that out there for you. So, we'll see how it goes, how I'm feeling. I know people at work who's 70 years old. I know people at work who are over 70, 75. I mean, 70 people I know, they doing okay. Physically, cognitively. They hanging in there, they doing what they doing. And I'm literally not ready to retire yet. I have this conversation a lot, don't I? I guess that's the number one conversation. That's the main thing I'm thinking about now. And let me just say this too, this is popping in my head. I don't want to stop working. If you asked me today, say I had PTO out the yang and I could call off, I wouldn't want to do that. That's not the answer. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing. I've had enough of doing nothing the last 2 days over the weekend. Hence the almost, thank God, it's Monday. Not being almost, like I said, it's not really. Gets to the point where, we're back to the point I gotta figure out what I wanna do. We're back to that same old point that I have to figure out what I wanna do. I have to find that thing. I have to find that thing that motivates me, that makes me get a plan where I say, ooh, this is it. This is what's gonna happen. And I come in, I even go to work and say, look, this is the way it's gonna be. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'll tell them. I will go to work and tell them what I wanna do and how it's gonna be. That's how beautiful a plan can fall in place. To where I just go and say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. But I ain't there yet. But when it hit me, hope I'll be ready for it. Hope I'll have things in place and be ready for it to go ahead and get it done. To step into that role or into that idea. It's starting to drizzle a little bit. I don't think it's gonna rain. I think the most we're gonna get is drizzle. But it's a lot of drizzle, and I'm still walking away from home. And I don't think it's gonna rain. Looking up at those clouds up there, they don't look like they got too much water in them. It's mostly, you know, white clouds, not too gray. Don't look too gray with water. Definitely won't rain, I don't think. Don't want to say definitely, but I don't think it's gonna rain, but we may get some heavy drizzle. So, back to the same topic, Jeffrey's future. What Jeffrey want to do? What about work? See how work goes today. See how I feel about it, see how I handle it. See how productive I am. See how productive I feel. Don't even want to know what Mr. Scale gonna tell me when I get home today. There will be a bowel movement, I'm sure, sometime this week that'll help out. It'll fall off. That way it's gonna fall right off. At 207 to be down to 203 or something by Wednesday. Easy. If I act right. Which I will, even though I got fig Newtons in there and chips and stuff. But I got my salad stuff, so I should be okay. I should be okay. And I don't think it's gonna be raining, so I better get my steps. I think my steps go a long way to help me with my weight. And again, as I said before, the psychological and physiological idea of just being out and walking, being outside, the air, just being in motion, active for that hour and a half, 2 hours a day. Actually, it's 2.5 hours a day. I think I walk 100 minutes, and I say hour and a half in the morning. Did another hour doing work, so 2.5 hours of walking every day. You know, like I said lots of times before, yeah, there'll be a calorie and weight burning aspect to it, but there's also a psychological aspect, just being out, being active, breathing, engaging with the outside world, being a part of not quite nature, but I guess you could call this nature. Well, it's not the idea with nature. When people say nature, they don't mean this. This is city life. This is under concrete. This ain't what they mean by nature. Even though it's kind of nature looking, considering, you know, on the green trees, pavement might not help. And there are squirrels and birds and stuff out here. So, you know, city nature. All right, like I said, I ain't got much. G-line. I ain't got much. Thinking about, I just going through my head that if I was the job I applied for at work, if I was to get an interview, how that was just running through my head, how that might go. I walk in there, do I wear a tie? Do I do this? Resume, et cetera, et cetera. Because when I applied for the position, I forget what position I applied for. I think it might have been the one I got, and they had to put it in the paper. So I had to go through the formality. I got dressed up and did the whole thing. People were like, not laughing, but they were like, yeah, that's cute, I was like, I didn't know. I think it was, I was a shoe-in for the position, but they had to create it and put it up and do all that stuff. Just think if I was to get another position, I think I would be happy to get off the phones. I think I would be happy to do something different. Be an enterprise analyst, and I was going over in my head, but I thought that was going to be dealing with the apps, dealing with the customer and the apps, and how it interfaces with the printers and printer software, printer applications, printer servers, and how that works together, maintaining that. Getting familiar with the enterprise applications and how enterprise teams work. With the obvious opportunity to move on to bigger and better things, Maybe get to the Microsoft Office team or Office or this or that team. Start with printers. That's what I'm guessing what it is. Oh, it'd be nice. I'd be very happy to be able to do something like that. Go back to GTFC, go back to my current team, see them. I love that team. I love that group. But I told everybody I can't stand the phone. I got to get off the phone. Some of them people are doing it for 20 plus years. See, I started off a desktop. I was able to run around the whole building. And even though I was dealing with people, I was dealing with it face-to-face. It wasn't 100% phones. There's something about that 100% phones thing that I got to get a handle on. There's something about that, those calls, that's getting me. And then I dread picking them up. And I hear the first tone of the person's voice. I'm just so reactive to it, so sensitive to that right now. Definitely lost my swagger and confidence on the phone because I think it affects my ability and capability, my attitude. My attitude affects my capability of thinking, my confidence. And that's tough, and I make mistakes. And my thinking is limited. I'm like, oh, why not think of that? See, that could be part of it. Another part of it could be that I'm just not into it and I don't care. So I'm just not thinking this hard. I'm not operating as optimally as I have in the past. Anyway, it's not like, hey, what do y'all want? It's like, hey, can I have your day? And if it's something simple I can figure out, I go in there and get it done. But I'm finding myself that if I go in there and it gets to be a little difficult, I mean, not so much a little difficult. If the customer, I can't even say the customer being difficult, but if it goes like a certain way, I'm irritated by it. And I didn't used to be that before. You know, triggered is one thing, apprehensive is another. Even worried or fearful that I can't get it done or not doing it right is one thing. But being angered, but being, you know, triggered or angered by the situation, that's something, that's a whole different thing. Being triggered by the customer, their voice, their tone, annoyed, being annoyed by the customer. I think that might be that's it right there. That might break it down to the whole thing. Where I'm annoyed by the customer. And that's not a good thing. That's probably very, very not a good thing. And I think that's the word. That's exactly it. I think that might break down to where I'm at. Customers annoy me. That might be it. Thank you for listening to my self-therapy, being a part of my self-therapy that got me to this point. I think that's what it is. I'm annoyed. And then do something and ask you, okay, and ask you something else, or this or that. And they just being customers. I wasn't annoyed by this, you know, maybe last year, even maybe 2 years. Well, you know, this has probably been growing for a while now. Annoyed is the word. Just annoyed. What do you want now? That's where I'm at. And if that's the case, there's probably no going back. And then I'm also thinking about HR and this and that. There may come a point, leave of absence, this or that, burnout, where the only option is to quit. Well, you know, here's our stance on it. Here's what, you know, this or that. The only option is to quit. Either work or quit. If you can't handle it, that's on you, buddy. That's not us. It's people lining up for your position. And that's fair, that's business. Thank you for your 10 years of service or whatever. Greatly appreciate it. Next. And it should be next for both of us. Next for them, and next for me. It's just that I got so much riding on this job. I got so much riding on this. Even my Social Security is based on my income at this position over the next so years. Whew. What if I go in there and change that? And I'm making a lot of money. I might not make this kind of money anywhere else. So I might just need to just shut up and suck it up, which I'm trying to do somewhat. Which I'm trying to do or going to attempt to do. Annoyed. Annoyed is the word. That's the word. I think that's what it is. I'm just annoyed by them. And they're good people, nice people. Most of them are just, most of them are, nice and congenial, mannerly, concerned. And they all say, how are you doing today? And I say, I'm this and that. Because they feel, they feel like they're imposing on you when they call and ask for something. So it's just really, it's not really the people. It's the position. It's not the population so much, even though there are some out there who are tough. Got a call from a guy I hadn't heard from in a while. He's just a maniac. He obviously has something mental going on. And for whatever I'm thinking they hired him because of that. They had to know he was like this, and he'd been there for so many years. But he is just fanatical, maniacal. I was like, man, stop. It's being taken care of. So, Jeffrey, I just want to make sure this, because I did this before, and it didn't get back to me, and this needs to happen. I don't call. This really needs to happen right now. And I'm like, stop. I was like, shit, stop. Please. This is not, brain surgery we're doing. We're handling it. Can you tell me who are you talking to? Who's the person's name? Well, tell me exactly what you told him. I said, man. And I know him and how he was, and we can talk, like that, back and forth. So he got on my nerves, but in a way that I can handle, because I can come and say, man, stop. But, I'm annoyed. Because I don't want to work with people no more. I'm annoyed by them. I want to work with less people, more machines, please. At least for a couple of years. And then I always thought that, though, and I said more than once, because it may be the people and the interaction with people that's keeping me in the game. It's keeping me alive, keeping me on my toes. Gives me a dynamic that changes. Not the same old. You never know what's gonna happen. You pick up that phone. Each call is gonna be different. Whereas if I maybe start working on printers and printer servers, it can get mundane, the same thing over and over, which may be what I want. Which may be what I want. I don't know. Talk about it a lot, don't I? It's a big deal. It's my life. We gotta make these decisions. Gotta be prepared for them, talk them out. So be prepared for an opportunity. I done talked them out. Look at this situation, look at that situation. Do I want this? Do I want that? At least go over it, prepare for it. So if a scenario comes up, opportunity presents itself, I won't be completely blindsided by it. I was like, oh, I thought about this already. I already know about this and know about that. It's almost like I had experience in it. So it's like, oh, you've been here before. You've done this before. I think we got a little bit of action behind us. Somebody might be off their meds. Or just acting out. Feels good to be out here again. Feels good. And I hope that this weekend of indulgence I got what I got out of it. I hope I'm turned off by it. And I hope that, it's out of my system. Or enough already, Just kind of let it go. You done did it. Been there, done that. Get it out. Don't have the urge to eat like that anymore. I can make that light if I wanted to. I don't want to. Taking my time. I'm early. Get back. The way my stomach feels now from yesterday, because when you eat so much, when you go to bed, that stuff is still in your stomach. So I was still affected by it. Yep, homie walk out in the middle of the street. Somebody off their meds. Oh, he timed it just right. Go ahead, dog. Go ahead, player. You did it right. You're looking out. Man, just walk right through it. He just kept walking. Like traffic didn't exist. And it worked out for him. So, that's where I'm at. Everybody gotta have something. Everybody gotta have something. Everybody gotta have something. Everybody gotta have something. I think anyway. In their day, and if it's not real, they'll make something. They'll make a point of the day, or they'll find something to focus on or be relevant. They'll create it. I got no problem with deluding myself. Got no problem. As long as I understand it is a delusion. But then again, if you understand it's a delusion, is it still a delusion? If you know it's not real, are you really deluding yourself? Doesn't deluding mean it has to be, you actually believe it's real when it's not? You know what I mean. Anyway. Happy Monday. Feels good to be back out here walking. Go back through the week. I sit down and go through my ritual and do what I do Monday. Log in, take those first calls and interactions. See how it goes. and see how it goes. Hopefully, my digestive system will continue. As I can tell, I walk around with a lot of food still in me. Even waking up this morning, I could tell it was too much. Still stuff in my stomach. Laying in the bed a little too much. I can feel it. Feels good to get out. It's good to get back into it. Back into the routine. Watch Aliens, watch Covenant and Romulus. Covenant might be the best one. Covenant might have been the best one. Yeah. Like I said, somebody say, all right, you don't got to work today. And you only got to use like 2 hours PTO. That's not what I want. That's not quite what I want. I don't want to have a nothing day. I want to have something to do, you know, be part of some kind of activity or whatever. So we'll see. So we'll see. Anyhow, swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the funk. And for every elementary particle that's ever existed in any atom, in this or in the universe ever was, is, or will be. The totality of it all, the theory of universe. Hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffery. You can tell I'm distracted. Some stuff going on up here.